It's getting very difficult to make good, cheap first car with cheap insurance videos because insurance prices have been going up and up and up for years now. I mean, from what I could find online, the average quote for a 17-year-old first-time driver these days is around £2,100 with a black box. Black boxes, by the way, record how you drive and make sure you don't go over the speed limit and that kind of stuff for those of you that aren't from the UK. All 10 of them come in way under the national average, including without a black box, ordered from most to least expensive in terms of non-black box quotes. And the quotes that I've done are for a 17-year-old living in a very average area for insurance. All the cars are under £5,000. If you want to see the video again at under £2,000, then hit the like button, 1,000 likes, and I'll make that video. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. We're kicking off with the Alfa MiTo Quadrifoglio Verde, which is in my opinion the coolest and best car on the list, with the best value for money as well. That's in part thanks to it having a 1.4 litre turbocharged inline-4 engine that makes 167 brake horsepower, more than double any other car on this list, which gets to 60 in 7.3 seconds, not bad at all. Despite that performance, I was surprised to find quotes with the black box at £1,450 and without at £1,975 per year, so we're kicking off below the average by £100 already. It'll cost you around £4,500 though at the bottom end, so it is a tad more expensive, but for a lovely package with the sportier interior, lovely looks on the exterior, and that performance, you are laughing as a 17-year-old. Electrical issues are the main ones that plague these, so do watch out for that. Next up, we have the only rear-wheel drive car on the list, the Renault Twingo, which comes with a 1 litre inline-3 engine which puts out 69 brake horsepower, taking it to 60 in 14 seconds. The quotes I got on it were ever so slightly better than the Alfa at £1,387 with a black box and £1,958 without. It is the third generation Twingo and was designed and built alongside the Smart 4.4, hence the two look very similar, share a bunch of parts and offer pretty similar packages, just with a different body shell. Having driven one, it is the perfect car for a young driver, it gets you into driving and doesn't do much more than that. They start at around £3,500 with 5k getting you a 2015 model around 50,000 miles on it. The main problems to be aware of are build quality related, with seatbelt buckles failing and the likes. We're now moving on to the Toyota Aygo, which comes with a 1 litre inline-3 engine that produces 68 brake horsepower, taking it to 60 in 13.7 seconds. I got a quote on one of these for £1,453 with a black box and £1,815 without, so we're starting to come down. I am of course talking about the second generation, which arrived in 2014 with some clear stylistic updates over the first gen. But the key benefit of these isn't how they look, it's how reliable they are. Minus a couple of teething problems, they have been pretty solid cars. There are also 6 specs, from the base X spec to the X Pure, which comes with a bunch of amenities, so consider what you want and budget accordingly. They start at around £4,000 with £5,000 getting you a 2016 model with around 80,000 miles on it. Next up, we're onto the Ford Ka, which comes with a 1.2 litre inline-4 engine that makes 69 brake horsepower, taking it to 60 in 14.8 seconds, making it the slowest car on the list. But at least the insurance quotes were promising at £1,385 with a black box and £1,728 without. It's a second generation car and was built alongside the Fiat 500, so it is genuinely not far off of being a rebodied 500 with a design that is supposedly more interesting to the masculine side of the market. It does mean interior specs in these are quite cool, same as the 500, and it does effectively look like a mini Fiesta, which is always nice. £3,000 is the minimum that I could find them listed for, and £5,000 will get you a 2014 model with around 50k on it. Reliability isn't bad either, and parts are easy to get and usually cheap. Just missing out on the top 5, it's the Hyundai I10 with its 1 litre inline-3 engine that makes 66 brake horsepower and does 0 to 60 in 14.2 seconds. I got a black box quote on one of these for £1,345, and without a black box it came in at £1,679. This is the second generation i10, which shares its platform with the Kia Picanto. It drives comfortably and has all the basics you need as a young driver, including some luxuries if you go for the higher spec examples like the heated steering wheel, cruise control and 15-inch alloys. It's not the most inspiring car of all time, but for a first it would very much do the job. They start at around £3,000 with 5k getting you a 2014 model around 50,000 miles on the clock. Watch for clutch slip on these, as they are pretty common first cars that get bashed around a lot, but generally reliability is positive. So I hope you enjoyed this video. A quick reminder, if you are, do hit the like button because I'll make the same video again under £2,000 instead if it gets to 1,000 likes. And if you've ever had a first car in your life, then let me know how much you paid for insurance on it. I paid about £2,400 effectively for my first year. That was in 2014. I tried to get a quote on a Polo and it was way above the national average, so instead you have to go for a VW up if you want cheaper insurance. I found cheap quotes on its stablemates as well, the Seat, Me and the Skoda Citigo, so at least you have 3 badges to choose from, by the way. It comes with a 1-litre inline-3 engine that makes 59 brake horsepower, taking it to 60 in 13.9 seconds, 4 seconds quicker than my 2002 Polo. And in terms of insurance, it came out with £1,311 with a black box and £1,637 without. It does have a good VW quality to it considering the price. I would say it's a better quality car than many others on this list in terms of the interior at least. They start at around £3,000 and 5k will get you a 2012 model with around 70k on the clock. The automatic gearbox is known to be jerky sometimes and coil packs can go. Another city car takes 4th on the list, the Peugeot 108, which sits on the same platform as the Citroen C1 and Toyota Aygo. It comes with a 1-litre inline-3 engine that makes 67 brake horsepower and does 0 to 60 in 12.6 seconds. And with that I found quotes starting at £1,310 with a black box and £1,636 without, beating the VW by a quid. It actually ended its life in 2021 as a result of Toyota taking full ownership of the plant in which it was built, and if you're looking for one, it had an interior facelift in 2018 to modernise it a little bit more, which may be worth going for, but all in, the story is very similar to the Aygo. These start at around £3,500 with 5k getting you a 2015 model with 30k on the clock. Reliability is a very similar story to the Aygo as well, it's a solid Toyota engine. On to the top 3 now, and in 3rd we have the Kia Picanto, a car which I actually reviewed last year, so go check that out for more information than I can give in this video. It comes with a 1-litre inline-3 which makes 66 brake horsepower, taking it to 60 in 13.8 seconds, and I got a decent insurance quote on it at £1,252 with a black box or £1,559 without. It's a very basic car without too many modern luxuries, and I found it didn't hold the road as well as some competitors like the VW, but it does have many other positives including an insane warranty package and great reliability, and genuinely it does the job nicely. 2k is the minimum you'll get one for, and 5k will get you a 2014 model with 50k on it. And given it's effectively the same car as the i10, reliability is the same as well. We're finishing off the trio now with the Citroen C1, the same basic car as the 108 and Aygo we've already mentioned. It comes with a 1-litre inline-3 making 70 brake horsepower and doing 0 to 60 in 13.6 seconds. Considering it's basically the same car, it surprised me with an insurance quote of £1,218 with a black box and £1,466 without. It does look incredibly similar to the Peugeot and comes in both 3 and 5 doors, as well as some cool specs including black alloys on some models, which does look a tad sportier, and the car has the same reliability as well. I think of the 3, the Aygo looks the best, but I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Which would you have if there were only these options? And don't say walk, that's boring. These are listed from around £3,000 with 5k getting you a 2015 model with 70,000 miles on the clock. Taking the top spot we have a classic, the Fiat 500, which I know won't be to everyone's taste, but the insurance quotes were just too good. £1,057 with a black box and £1,268 without. That is a bargain for a 17-year-old. I paid basically double that in my first year. For that, getting a 1.2-litre inline-4 which makes 68 brake horsepower and does 0 to 60 in 12.5 seconds. As I said, it's the base platform for the car mentioned before, and in terms of specs, it really does offer an insane set of options, so you can genuinely find some properly nice ones depending on your taste. I think that's a really cool thing to have in your first car, considering most people will just take what they can get. 2k will get you one, and 5k will get you a 2013 one with 60,000 miles on it, while reliability remains the same as the car. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope that it helped you. If it did, do smash the like button, I'd really appreciate it. Massive thanks for watching as always, and to the patrons for their continued support. And if you want to watch a video on some cheap city cars instead, then click up here and subscribe down here.